4 years is a relatively short time frame as we think about financial planning, but what has changed in your life over the past 4 years? That's what I'm thinking. I was reading an article recently, and it talked about how it was 4 years ago this month, March of 2000, that the World Health Organization officially declared COVID-19 a pandemic. It was March 11th. And it went on. It talked about some of the things that have changed directly related to the pandemic over the past 4 years. Right, we've all seen some of those things in our life. But what it made me think about was what has changed personally, not COVID related, but just how has life changed in the past 4 years. Right, as I think about it, back in March of 2020, we had just buried my mom, and my dad was living at home as a widower and doing fine as far as that goes. Today, he's in memory care at his retirement community. My two boys were just in the beginning stages of elementary school back then. Now they're almost halfway through middle school today. I think back business-wise, back in 2020, Nick Moore wasn't working here with us. Now he's such an integral part. We're kind of like the dynamic duo in running the operations here at Trinity, right? Just things, what big changes have gone on. And I really like that touch point of having, COVID-19 sort of that line in the sand, right? As we think about other things, deaths and births and marriages and job changes, each one of us has a different frame of reference when it comes to that. But that, the start of COVID is one of the things that we all sort of have in common, kind of like going back to, what 9/11 was a universal experience in the United States when John F. Kennedy was shot, right? Those sorts of things, that sort of shared experience. So I think it's interesting as we think about that, a neat line in the sand to be able to have that conversation about. And when we talk about financial planning, one of our sort of philosophies is that flexibility is really important, and things tend to change more than they stay the same, right? And of course, take all the COVID things and the things that went with that world, set it aside. But just personally, I look at my life and man, a lot has changed in the last 4 years. And I'm curious as to what's changed in your life. Maybe you've had similar experiences, a lot changed. If you have a different experience, I'd love to hear about that too. Hey, if you say things haven't changed very much in the past 4 years outside of the COVID things, I'd be really interested to hear a different side of the equation or a different experience with that. But I do think that most of us will find that there are a lot of things that have changed, or at least a few really significant things that change over a 4-year period of time is relatively short. As we think about financial planning, retirement planning, especially, we're trying to project out 5 and 10 and 20 years down the road. What is life going to look like, and how can I be prepared for it? And you go that long time frame, it helps me anyway to look back, and we've got a relatively short time frame, and you go, holy man, some of the things that I thought were going to turn out didn't. The way it actually played out is different than what I expected on things. And looking backward is helpful for me sometimes to look forward in a more intelligent fashion. So that's what I'm thinking about. And like I said, I'd really love to hear if you've got a similar, or if you've got a different experience, especially. We'd love to hear about that. Let's start a conversation in the comment box, or feel free to shoot me an email directly. And as always, thanks for watching.